Whenever you're ready.
Carter, what's it kind of like to be back?
It's good to be back. You know, it was a good break. You know, I think it's good to have a break every now and then. You know, I've been going at it for a lot of years in a row, you know, with no real time off. So it was just good recovery, and I'm excited, ready to be back out there, feeling better than ever.
How's 49 feel for you?
Good. I think it's a good weight for me.
Teague, you second year 57, last year kind of, I'd say, I don't want to use the wrong word, but shocked, I guess, a lot of people with success you had there. Do you feel even more comfortable in that bigger weight class now with, you know, getting another year to fill it out and everything?
Yeah, I do feel a lot more comfortable this year, and just like the preparation, knowing that I'm at this weight class and I don't have to worry so much about my weight every day, and I can just focus on getting better every day.
Teague, what did you know, John had talked about a lot from us last year, how you kind of just kept clawing at it and finally got your opportunity. What did you learn about yourself last year, and I guess how are you hoping to improve this year?
I learned a lot. You just got to trust yourself and believe and focus on one day at a time and getting better every day, and then just going out there and executing and believing in yourself. And this year I'm just looking to build on it with all the experience I had last year, and to just keep putting my head down and working.
After waiting as long as you did, how rewarding was it to have a year like that this year?
It felt really good. You know, I had a lot of ups and downs and setbacks, and it felt really good to get out there and break free, and then just to know that I'm not gonna let that happen again, to just run with it and not look back.
Was there a favorite moment you had last year?
I had a lot of good moments, but probably that Mizzou duel was probably going back home and getting a win against my old teammate was probably the favorite one.
Luke, 3 questions. 1, how do you feel? 2, can anyone imagine what last year was like for you? Because you seem to be battling something all the time. And 3, how does it feel to come out on the end with that spot in the lineup, knowing you had a challenge? I mean, this wasn't given to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I feel good. First off, all healthy, got released like a month ago, so I feel good. And then, you know, last year was a pretty tough year. You know, I got hurt at CKLV pretty bad, and I took like 6 weeks off, and then I didn't really know like how bad it was at the time. We didn't really get it checked out too much, and then my first match back, I hurt my knee, and so then I was dealing with that pretty much the rest of the year, and that kind of bothered me. My knee would just swell up after every match, so I couldn't really practice a whole lot. And then, you know, yeah, it was a good, you know, it's good to have somebody pushing you. I think that makes you better, having competition in the room and stuff like that. I haven't really had that the past couple of years, so I think it was good, you know, iron sharpens iron. So I think it's good to, you know, have that competition in there and have it every day pushing you. Cause not just at my weight, but all up big guys. There's, you know, a heavyweight, 84. There's really good guys around me that I get to wrestle with every day, so I think it helps me a lot.
Luke, had you gone through something like that before in your career?
No, I got hurt before, but nothing like last year. Just kind of, it was a tough year, but I got through it. You know, learned some stuff. Wasn't very fun, but I learned some stuff. So.
How do you said, yeah, I think you were kind of limited in how much you could do because your knee would swell up. How do you try to compensate for that? Like, because obviously you want to try to get better as much as you can, but you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, I was doing treatment all the time, like trying to get like, you know, ice, hot tub. I got some different types of treatment, but I was just trying to take time off. We'd wrestle, and every time I'd wrestle, it seemed like it would kind of swell up a little bit. So just trying to take some time off, and it got to a point where I couldn't medical redshirt because I'd wrestled the halfway point, like so. It was just at that point I just had to suck it up, you know what I mean, or I was gonna lose a year. So I just kind of sucked it up and got through it. You know, I didn't perform very well, but learned from it and just, you know, look forward to this year.
I don't know if that's 97 is your natural weight or if that was easy to make, but did you have to change your food intake? And certainly your conditioning suffered because you couldn't get on the mat.
Yeah, it was, my weight normally stays like, first couple of times it's pretty hard, but once I start making it, it was pretty, I just be disciplined with it a little bit, but yeah, for sure, like my training, I mean, I couldn't really shoot last year, so it was just all, I pretty much just getting one takedown match, and it's not super fun because a lot of them didn't go my way, so like I was in some tight matches and one takedown goes one the other way and you lose. I lost a handful of those, so and that's not really how I like to wrestle. So
For all three of you guys, the change in philosophy, because with David, I mean, it's more of an offensive philosophy than maybe it past defensive. How does that change for you guys, and is it pretty fun to adapt to?
Yeah, I mean, it's still, like, the goal's kind of the same. You just got to go out there and execute and go out there and score points and do it for the guys sitting right next to you and your teammates and not letting them down and going out there and giving everything you have, making it a fight out there.
yeah, I think just with Coach Taylor, it's kind of like helps me a little bit. I wrestle a little bit similar, but I think there's some things that I was lacking in my wrestling that I've developed over this off season that's really going to help me this year. And I think just having an offensive mindset, always looking to score, help, especially in late matches. I think sometimes maybe I would go more defense, but just trying to score the whole time. So
Yeah, I think they put a really big emphasis on just not paying attention to the score and just trying to continue to attack just the entire time, and they really put big emphasis on as many points as possible. They want to see bonus points from all of us in every match, so I think that's a good outlook to have. I think it can only help us.
Carter, you had originally committed to Coach Kennedy and were going to go to Northwestern and everything. What's that reunion been like, him coming down here?
It's been good. He's tough on me too. I try and go with him a decent bit. I try and grab him maybe like once a week, and those got to really prepare for those days because those are my toughest days of the week. So it's been good getting to work out with him, and he just makes me tougher, makes me better. So it's been awesome.
So I guess kind of not the same question, but to Carter's point about having a different partner and a different look in the room, Luke, you got David around your size and stuff. What's it like going with him?
well, it's not very fun when he gets on top, but it's good to learn from him and stuff. He's got a lot of good stuff, and just really just never wrestled somebody that good, so like you don't really know like how bad or like how there's just a lot of different levels. You can go with I wrestled with like #1 guy in the country, and it's a lot different than wrestling versus the best guy in the world. And so having that feel, I think, is just preparing you to go out when you wrestle, a good opponent. You're not going to wrestle anybody better than that. So just gives you a lot of confidence going out and wrestling.
So you said you found there were some things lacking in your game. Is he the guy that's kind of showed you a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Just how he wrestles and stuff. I've always been able to shoot pretty good, but my hand fighting hasn't been super good. And so trying to mix those together, hand fighting as well as shooting, because he's best hand fighter and wrestler in the world at that. So just learning from him has been really good.
I talked with Wyatt about you two's final a couple years back. Have you guys discussed that at all?
He brought it up to me after he asked it. He was like, "Yeah, some guy was trying to act like we had some beef going on."
What did that like mean? But
yeah, well, he was just giving me a hard time. He's a pretty goofy guy. We kind of mess around with each other quite a bit, but so.
When you had that cradle, thinking back, then did you think you had him for a second?
I did think I had him, yeah. But he's a pretty big guy, so he kind of rolled me through a little bit. Maybe if I would have had an extra 20 pounds, I would have been able to hold him there. But.
Well, get to know him better. Was he what you thought he'd be like? Because you sort of only knew him in one context before.
No, I wouldn't. He's a super nice guy. So I mean, I knew he's nice, but I never really been around him. But so probably, I mean, yeah, he's just a super nice guy, genuine, hard worker. So he's been probably what I expected, but yeah.
I mean, he's an Air Force lieutenant. I mean, that's kind of crazy. But the question again, I'm asking questions for all three of you guys. I don't know, the attitude, what it's like at practice in the room, is that dramatically different from the past, or is it pretty similar?
I think it's pretty similar. I mean, there's differences, obviously. Every coach has his own ideas and philosophy, but I just think, everybody's really excited coming into practice every day. We have fun. We play handball to warm up. We play games and stuff. So it's a lighthearted mood, but still you're in there to work, so everybody's working hard as well. So it's just a good mix of the two.
I think the attitude's raising a little bit just because of all the people we brought in, and we look at our lineup and we know what we're capable of, and we're working towards the same goal every day, and that's to win a team title and bring Oklahoma State back. So I think the attitude's a little more, we're really focused on the little things and being disciplined and fighting for each other every day.
Yeah, I think the room in years past, I mean, there's nothing been bad, but I mean, a lot of times, like, we've got a lot of guys with good energy. So, like, you know, everybody's always, the energy's always really high at practice. So that's a good thing. So, and I think it's been high in years past too, but I just think from a day in, day out, it's pretty consistent. So.
What was it like for you guys watching your coach compete a couple weeks ago?
It was pretty cool to see, you know, losing first round and then coming back and have to battle back and get third. I mean, that's what he probably expects out of us, and it's pretty cool to see him have to fight through the adversity and come back and win all those good matches.
Yeah, it was cool. I know probably it wasn't easy for him, you know, because he went there, you know, probably hoping to win gold, but it was just cool. Like Teague was saying, he's doing everything that he asked us to do, so it's just cool from that front.
Yeah, same with Luke's point. I think it's really cool that, you know, the things he's asking us to do day in and day out. When we're in tournaments, we get sent to the backside, you know. It's hard, you know, it's easy for a coach to say, you know, you got to push, you got to get third, you know, but it's easier whenever you see your coach do it himself. So I just think it's really great to see, you know, him putting the work besides us, you know.
What's it
Marshall
like?
just asked the best question. Those were great answers. That was good stuff.
What's it, am I safe to assume that before he got this job, y'all all watched him a lot? And if so, what's it like to have a coach that you grew up watching compete? And I guess that's for all of you, so.
It's still kind of like, it's kind of crazy because you never really think when you're watching him when you're growing up that like maybe one day he'll be your coach, and it's still kind of weird like seeing him as your head coach because you never really thought it'd be possible.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, you know. I don't think a lot of people probably, you know, would have thought this, you know, or he would be even available, you know. Most people thought he'd be at the Olympics. So just being around him, I think it's still pretty crazy. You know, you go to practice and stuff, and like your coach is David Taylor. You know, you've watched him since you're a little bitty, you know. So.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've grown up, you know, watching, same with Coach Smith, you know, all his YouTube videos and everything and all his matches, and it's just kind of crazy, you know, something you wouldn't expect, you know. I never thought, you know, David Taylor could be my coach here, you know, so it's just it's pretty surreal. It's really awesome.
Carter and T, you guys go back to high school together here, and now you're kind of back to back in the lineup. Is that kind of a cool thing? Are you excited about that?
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I'm excited for it, being Stillwater boys and just being back in the lineup back to back, kind of like we were in high school, and just excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You know, it'll be our first opportunity to be in the lineup together, so I think it's going to be awesome. It's a good 1-2 punch to have, you know.
Anything else?
Carter, you wrestled with Ruiz before. David just said he was probably going to start for you guys your season opener. Going through what he's been through, kind of like what Teague did. I mean, how prepared do you see him being for a moment like this, and how do you see it going for him?
I mean, he's prepared, obviously. You know, he works hard every day. I see him day in and day out, and he's been a staple, you know, for the program for every year that he's been here, and he's always been ready when he's been called upon. And I think he's going to do a lot of great things out there. I'm excited.
What have you guys seen from him so far?
Just from Reese, just with all of the craziness and like the transfer portal and him not being the guy for a couple of years and him just sticking through it, it shows a lot about who he is as a person. And we've seen what he's been able to do when it's like the big lights on. And I think he just kind of goes out there and he's kind of a gangster. So I'm excited to see him go out there because he does some pretty cool things.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, just especially, you know, with the transfer portal, you know, a lot of guys would have left in his situation, being behind Dayton for however long and then going down to 25, which isn't his ideal weight. But just sticking around, you know, now he's getting his opportunity, so it's exciting for him.
Carter, one more for you. I'm curious, what can, you know, it's kind of up and down for your first 2 years here. What can taking a year off and redshirting, what can that do for you, and what has that done for you so far?
I just think it's you know, kind of helped to regain that hunger, you know, going in every day and not having the opportunity to wrestle for a while. You know, I think it just motivates you. I'd say I'm more motivated this year than I have been in years past, and just looking forward to getting back out there.
Those guys mentioned Reese could hit the portal anytime. You could hit the portal last year. What made you want to stick around and compete still at Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State's the most historic program in the history of wrestling. Who wouldn't want to wrestle here?
Was it a thought at all, maybe to go and find new opportunity, or were you kind of
Nah,
getting hooked? Gotcha. What's the off season been like for you? Just trying to get back. So
Yeah,
far?
just staying healthy. You know, training hard every day. Just staying healthy.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate
See you
it.
soon.
No problem.